There we go.
Formula One. 2014 ushered in a new set of regulations that saw us enter the turbo hybrid era of F1 car development. The biggest change being the engines, which were changed from 2.4 litre V8 to 0.6 turbocharged V6 power. Along with this came integrated systems such as now be rolling on 18-inch wheels, far larger than 13-inch wheels used prior. These larger tyres were designed.
So back on the ERL stream, of course, was on the GRL stream. So we're at China for this circuit, which is 5.4 kilometers. I'm joined by my co-commentator, Spray. How are you doing then, I suppose, this evening once again?
Same answer. I'm alright.
Right, that's good. Even though you were all right 5 minutes ago, which is always good. So, yeah, you predicted. Did you do a prediction for tonight?
No, I didn't, but I think Patrick did.
Patrick, fair enough. And obviously, you were saying Patrick's leading the championship by 14 points, if I'm correct, over Nice Job, who is in second, followed by Ali, who's in third, of course. And so far, Ali has done the quickest lap of the weekend, of the day. Did you enjoy the Italian Grand Prix?
Not really, to be honest.
Not really.
I kind of turned it off after the sun got overtaken, so I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, no, I agree. Hopefully it'll be a bit of a more interesting affair here, and a little bit of a closer battle for everyone, which is, well, I suppose the whole point of esports really, or, you know, online racing, to have closer battles. Obviously everyone's car in theory is equal, besides from the colour scheme, of course. So Patrick goes top with a 1:31.6 then, so that's a pretty decent lap.
It's going to be close.
He goes third. That is pretty good. Yeah, about 3/10 off though, so lost time in the middle sector where he needs to improve. But that's a pretty close, 19 thousandths of a second.
Yeah.
So, not bad. Nice job. What's he doing?
He's going to get a lovely toe down the back straight. Whether it's intentional or not, he's going to get an absolutely incredible toe.
Yeah, well, he is going to get a toe, absolutely, and his teammate.
If you want to know how to do a toe in a qualifying, that is how you do it.
Yeah, that was literally perfection, indeed. And where's that going to put him? Goes into fourth.
Yeah, and he got purple sector through.
Yep, no surprise. Then, obviously, the toe around here can be quite helpful with that long straight. Obviously, it is about 1.3 kilometers or meters long. So yeah, it is a very long straight, that straight from 13 to 14, of course, and there's a heavy braking zone, so it's a good overtaking opportunity. Currently, them two drivers on medium compound tyres. That's well anyway, and Nice Job not doing really a representative time. However, I think he is going to be on a second push lap then,
yeah,
potentially.
Under through that first sector. Running out of fuel a little bit though could be in danger. I think he should be alright though. You can still take that corner flat even on medium tyres. That's impressive.
Yeah. But then these cars do have a lot of downforce these days.
Yeah.
Like, I think really they've been taking that turn, I think that's turn 5, flat since 2000 and whatever, maybe since 2009, 2010.
I cannot do it flat.
Can't you? Well, that's a new challenge. I think the trick is around there, you just got to have the faith in the front of the car and make sure it sticks. But anyway, on with nice job's lap up into
he's
the...
2.3 seconds under on this lap, so obviously he did have a mistake going into this final sector, because he's still on a pretty decent lap, and he's going to come into the pit lane.
Yep, typical of when a driver is on a decent lap, they always love to come in. So Waffler and, so Waffler will be the next car to do a lap then, as he's ahead of Patrick, who currently is our provisional pole sitter, currently for now, who obviously is our provisional championship leader at the moment, or is our championship leader. Took the championship lead last time out in Austria, was it? If I'm correct in saying?
Yes.
Yeah, so he had a very good race he did, obviously. It was a bit of a difficult one for Nice Job, and it was Danny who won from what I remember, if my memory serves me well. But nonetheless, a Waffler heading up then this long straight up into then the heavy braking zone of turn 14, and he will probably switch on the ERS to deploy and begin his lap around the Chinese circuit. No, he won't. That was anticlimactic. So Patrick then we will shoot back to, and he will begin then his lap. The championship leader then this is, going on a lap of this Shanghai International Circuit then. And round turn 1, which I think is 270 degrees, and same with turn 2. Overall, that's the radius of the corner, or whatever. Then into turn number 4, heavy braking zone. Get the car obviously rotated. This corner is all about. Then exit. Obviously, Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz had a collision there. Then through this corner, flat out pretty much. Then it's just about being patient and being calm with the throttle pedal around these couple of corners, not being too aggressive. Then into then what is a bit of a heavy braking zone and a key braking zone. Don't want to take too much curb on the left, not too much curb on the right, and get out. Then turn 13, very critical corner, because this will either make or break your lap. Then really up this long straight, you have a bad exit, you'll lose a lot of time, but I think Patrick's had a pretty decent exit as he heads then into turn 14, a little bit of a lock-up. As the tyres screaming a little bit then there into turn 14, then through 15, which is non-existent, and then 16, final corner, a very short corner, and improves by 0.4 of a second, so that's a very decent second run for him, and still he's got time to probably come into the pits and get back out there for one final attempt at it. However, might not need a final attempt with that, given there's about 8 attempts between himself and Ali. So, who else is on a good lap?
Just watching Nice Show at the minute.
Yep, he's obviously...
This is his first soft tyre running of the session. Will be a bit tight to make the next running, so depending on what he has in mind, as you know, he probably will have enough time, depending if he gets super unlucky or not. But yeah, coming up to sector 2, once again a pretty clean sector from the AlphaTauri, 3.2 under his previous time. Really just going to come down to this last sector, and how much speed does that AlphaTauri have?
Yep. Well, he's going to get a bit of a tow from the Ferrari ahead.
No,
not much. Yeah, probably not actually.
Absolutely nothing.
But nonetheless, we'll see a Ferrari ahead of him into then the final couple corners. He is improving. He is obviously on the softs. I do wonder where this is going to place him. Can he go up there? And that's a good attempt. 1:31.3 for his first run on softs. So,
Super close.
Yep, indeed. And them two have been very close all season, actually, to be fair. It's always been a bit track dependent between them two, you'd have to say.
Also, as far as well, anyway, he's in third, which is, I know China is actually a good track for him, so could Villeneuve keep his 100% win record going?
Well, is that how many wins he's had? 100% at China.
He's had one race and he's won it. So.
Fair enough.
He won in Portimao. Kostkov is a 10.5 up in the first sector.
Where's Koska? Ah, there he is. Yep. So, obviously, on his second run. However, he is still improving by 1/10.5. So, can still improve. Only would need about a 10th to jump up to 4th. And I think that'd be a decent-ish effort. This probably going to be his final attempt, you'd have to say.
Yeah, I mean, he won't have time for another lap.
Unless he decides to abandon.
I think he should abandon this lap and go in. I think he should abandon it. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Smart move.
Yeah. In the end, he'd probably have lost too much time.
10.5 under in the first sector, trying to get up to 5th place. Maybe even 4th.
Yep, indeed. So, Neil is, I think, the next driver on a lap. I'm not sure I've actually seen Neil race this season, from what I recall. So
I've got a terrible memory, so I'm not sure.
This, I think, is his first.
Neon, 2.5 up.
Yep, 2.5. So this would put him into like the 1:31.9 territory potentially, depending on how he gets out of these final, couple of corners, really, into turn 14. Then he'll head and he'll choose his brake marking board. Personally, I'd say about 100 meters is about right. Picks that pretty nicely. Good turn out of 14. So one more corner to go. Keep it within the track limits. A bit of a difficult corner actually for track limits. I have to say that one is.
Yeah. It's going to be a bit annoying though to not get that extra 10th or so. There's a yellow flag, and that is an Aston Martin.
Yeah, he probably is a bit annoyed. I think that's for Tom, but I don't think Tom's in trouble just going slow. Who is doing an outlap, and they're pretty much all on outlaps now. Probably the biggest risk for Tom is catching traffic on this lap. He's got a McLaren, and then a bit of a gap to... actually, I think AlphaTauri's in between the McLaren and the Alfa Romeo, so... yeah, that's going to be his biggest challenge if they impede him, but obviously rules are pretty clear. Obviously, if you're probably not on a flying lap, you got to get out of the way. So, yeah, not really. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, but through first sector, and...
So if you want to follow Tom, I'm looking forward to Villeneuve, and I'll let you know how he's doing. Through the first sector, 2 down.
Yep. No, not great. But coming into the middle sector then for Tom, and is 96 thousandths up on his best lap time, so this wouldn't be really enough to change anything for Tom. How's anyway getting on?
He's sparkled through the middle sector. He's reduced his gap to just over half a second over on his lap time. So that first sector is really cost him so far.
So,
And Takac is 700ths of a second under his time.
so Takas is improving then, but Tom will be first car to cross the line on his final run, and in fact had a pretty decent final sector, improves by half a second, but that won't be really enough to jump up the order. So, well, anyway, we'll come to the line now and improves by 1 thousandths. So
and Takac is invalidated.
Indeed.
Torlom, nice job.
Yep, and nice job's improving by 17 thousandths of a second in that first sector. So, well, he needs about 2 tenths, roughly, or in fact just a bit under.
Close here as well. He's about 6 tenths under. He's going to be really close. Could it be provisional pole for the Aston? Picks it into second place.
So P2 for nice the Aston.
A tenth and a half under his time.
And that would be good. So if he keeps improving by that much, he would go on to pole.
Yeah, just needs to make sure his last 2 corners are a clean corner. Has to make sure he just hits that braking wheel properly, and he will be on pole position in Shanghai. Let's see. Keeps it in second, does navigate up the gears quite nicely. 1 more corner to go, has to carry the speed. This should be provisional pole for nice job, and he doesn't get it.
Nope, he lost time in the final sector a little bit then by, well, half, 50 thousandths of a second I think it was, and that's only good enough for P3. However, I must say it's very, very close between the drivers. Less than a tenth separating first and fourth. That's mega impressive stuff out there.
Yeah, absolutely. But Patrick is going to be counting his chickens because he was lucky not to lose that.
Yeah, he will be indeed. However, I think at the same time, you know, Takas, I think, well, he was improving, so he probably, if he didn't invalidate, would have improved by maybe another tenth or 2 potentially then there. So, like, yeah, I think he would have been a pole sitter anyway in this one, but by 19 thousandths of a second then, Takas takes pole then at China, followed by Ali, followed by nice job in third. Well, anyway, is in fourth, and Kotos is in fifth. Appledorm is in sixth. Neil is seventh. Tom is in eighth, and then Corolis is in ninth, and then Sir Waffler is in 10th. Then Charlie is 11th. Iron Kid is in 12th. Then Porsche is in 13th, and then ERL Pires is in 14th with no time, and quite a lot of no time runners there. To be fair, in this qualifying session, we've got 4 of them, so those drivers may have saved a few sets of tyres. However, I'm not expecting too many safety cars tonight, given the turnout. I'm not sure about you.
No, there'll be something. There has to be something.
You think so?
Yeah.
Fair enough. So, what strategy would you go for around China?
I'll just go for a medium hard. Simple as. I don't really think you can get a soft tyre out here.
Well, no, you can't. Probably not. To be fair.
There's just too many corners and too many elevation changes. Those tyres would die out very quickly. I think the medium is probably the better set with the soft in terms of race pace.
Also, the trouble is, you know, too many high-speed corners and long radius corners just put too much pressure on the tyres, really. You probably last for about 5 laps, but that's it. As soon as you've gone past lap 5, pretty much they'll fall off a cliff like no tomorrow. So, yeah.
There we go.
So, formation lap then. Obviously, that's the Dutch Max Verstappen helmet Neil's got. Pretty nice, actually. That's the line one. So, anyway, what tyres is everyone on? Let's have a quick look. So, we've got then everyone pretty much on the mediums except for Charlie, who's decided to go hards, and we've got Kovolis also on hards, and we've got Kotos also on hards. So 3 of the 14 runners have gone for the hards. The other 11 have all gone for medium tyres then in this race and for their opening stints. I think that's obviously, well, pretty straightforward strategies and from a lot of them. Obviously 3 of them taking a gamble to go longer and maybe banking on a safety car then there, or maybe wanting fresher tyres at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, maybe the hard runners still have a chance to go for a hard soft, but I mean, I wouldn't advise it.
Well, there's the possible race strategies. So if you start on the hards, then you go mediums at 15, I think it said, and if you're on then the mediums, I presume it's a bit earlier, maybe lap 13 or whatever.
Yeah, but I'd say 13, or maybe 12.
Yep. For whatever reason, didn't give me the actual medium. Gave me a 2-stop strategy. Didn't show me the medium hard strategy, just only hard mediums, which was a bit weird. But nonetheless, that's EA for you. So obviously Takas will line his car back into pole position, and obviously Ali will then line his car into that second place grid spot. So soon as 5 red lights, soon as Perez comes into his grid box, and then we will go racing.
What is going on with the grid order? There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here in Shanghai, and it's like that, and away we go. Alia does look like he's got the jump on the Patrick. It's a terrible start from the Ferrari. He's already down into 4th place. Now that is a move I did not see happening. Willem goes super wide on the exit of turn 1 and turn 2. Patrick does manage to get back into P2, but that was a horrific start. No revs in those engine or in those tyres, no grip on the start. Koskas has found himself in 6th place battling with Appledorn for 5th. There's a bit of touch and go with which I believe is Iron King and Sir Waffler. Little bit of a wheel bang just coming down the hill and coming up now into turn 7 around the left-hander. Flat for majority of the drivers. The gap at the front is 0.3 of a second. Alia takes the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. Wim Porsche and Charlie Harris are both... Oh no, sorry. Charlie Harris and Cavalis are fighting for position. That is Cavalis having a huge slide off the track. Charlie Harris sneezes through. Wim Porsche and Waffler are going to get up close and personal. Waffler finds that brake pedal quite nicely. Does not give him any room on the inside. That could have been dangerous. Up at the front, it is going to be nice job breezing past the Aston Martin. That straight line speed of the AlphaTauri superior to the Aston Martin. Nice job, takes the lead in Shanghai. Alia does have a little look with that brake pedal, but is not strong enough to get it. Three different leaders on this first lap, and it's currently Nice Job who has it.
Yep, so Nice Job comes around to complete the first lap, and he's already posted a 1:37 then for the fastest lap time of the race, followed by Ali in P2, and then we've got Patrick in P3. P4 then as well anyway, and there's a bit of a move going on with Wim Porsche and Iron Kid both into the pit lane. Iron Kid is replacing his front wing, same with Wim Porsche, and Wim Porsche going on to mediums, whilst Iron Kid is going on to the softs, at the back of the grid. Also, Tom is in, who's gone for the hards. So those are your early stoppers already in the race. Obviously, probably a bit unscheduled in terms of pit stop, you'd have to say. But nonetheless, going a bit further up than the order, as Iron Kid has now got past Vin Porsche, who is now down to 14th. Where's the fighting then, really? Iron Kid, well, actually the fighting is probably back with these three, as someone's made a mistake. It's Waffler then, and he's been demoted down to 11th, but Iron Kid has made up 2 positions on this outlap, so then soft tyres working very well for the Red Bull driver, but he had a bit of a messy exit through one of the previous corners before. I think it's turn 12 or 10 it is, one of the two. And ERS, I think, is enabled actually this lap, so gonna see potentially a move, are we?
There's 2 things I want to note. First of all, the Mercedes are very close to each other. I've been watching this battle for the last lap or so. Perez seems like that tyre advantage is a bit too costly, and Charlie is suffering. And the second one, the pit stop strategy prediction powered by AWS suggests that it will be a medium soft for the medium runners, and then a hard soft for the hard runners. So lap 16 is what people are saying this medium will go to, and then pit onto the soft for the remaining 11 laps, which I wouldn't do, but if that's what the game says is the fastest, then who knows?
Yeah, but sometimes the game lies. Actually, probably it doesn't, actually, to be fair.
Don't look at Charlie Harris there on the back of Neil. Going on to the back straight. Neil much superior on the exit, however.
Yeah, Charlie getting a bit. Yeah, he is burning up that ERS, so
yeah,
I'm not really too sure.
Difference currently at the minute for Charlie Harris. Get any closer? No, he cannot. Oh, that's Neil going deep into the corner. Almost opening the door for Charlie.
Yeah, as Martin Brundle would say, it allows Charlie to sniff.
Oh, that's Neil as well. Super slow in that mid-corner. And Charlie Harris breezes past Alfa Romeo. Neil, 2 mistakes and he loses the position. Koskas and Appledorn side by side through turns 2 and 3. Down onto 4. Appledorn looked for the inside. No gap was there. Koskas remains in 5th place. Or takes 5th place, I'm not sure.
Took 5th place, he did. So,
Vinny Porsche and Iron Kid are about to go onto the pit straight with just a 10th separating them. Rear wing enabled for the AlphaTauri is going to breeze past the Red Bull up into 12th place. Goes the AlphaTauri, squeezes the Red Bull off the road. Patrick now starting to close the gap onto Alia as he's fallen out of the nice job DRS in, but well anyway, still hanging in tight.
Yeah, well, anyway, obviously currently sitting there in 3rd, stalking our top 2, really, at the moment. He is, but he's actually got a really good exit out of turn 13. Could challenge the Ferrari, but I think Ferrari's just got a little bit better straight line pace, so he should be able to keep move. Obviously, Patrick has a little look to see if he can spook the Aston Martin out of the way, but going back to Neil, and he's been overtaken by the second of the 2 Mercedes drivers, by ERL Perez, who is now up into 8th. Appledorn just having Patrick weave to the inside, so them 2 still fighting away very hard for position. And this is getting quite a spicy affair between the between the 2nd and 3rd. Is Patrick going to go for a move? He goes for it on the inside. Has he got the position? A little bit of contact on the exit, but Patrick is through, and that has also allowed Well Anyway to get through. So it's Patrick, Well Anyway, and then Ali then are now second, third, and fourth. Then, as Patrick sent one up the inside at turn number 5.
Just looks like Ali has struggled on his time a bit. A few slides I've been seeing.
Yeah, potentially, but we're only 5 laps into the Grand Prix, so surely can't be, you know, tyre degradation. But
a lot of weaving for Takax here. Sees the threat of, well, anyway, that's a bit of excessive weaving, but well, anyway, gets into second place of the Chinese Grand Prix. Could we be seeing this again? Well, anyway, picking up the championship leader as he did in Portimao. He's done it again in Shanghai. Takax back into third with that red light flashing at the back of his car. But anyway, if he can just survive this straight, will see himself fly ahead of the Ferrari. And he believes that Nice Job is next.
Yep, Nice Job is next. He's
going to make the lunge for it though, into turn 2. Well, anyway, does see it coming. And well, anyway, has the inside line for turn 4. Takax cannot do anything about it. That's a big slide for the Ferrari. Well, anyway, does survive, and now he has to try and fill the gap to ensure he does not become under threat later on in this lap. And that is not the way to start. He's locked up into turn 6. Another snap from Patrick. The medium compound maybe starting to struggle. A lot of sliding around these corners, but well, anyway, it's not exactly putting the gap. He needs to pull to make sure he's not under threat from Patrick's on the double DRS zone about to come his way. There's not many corners Will anyway can do now to build a gap. He's going to have to hope for a mistake from Patrick. Going to try and make himself safe for this straight, and Takax has taken that corner perfectly. No, he hasn't. Keeps it in too low a gear, and that is going to lose him almost 7/10 of a gap. So close to Takax. So I was trying to praise him for that corner he just did, but actually he did have it in the wrong gear. Means he did not have any traction. Alia fighting Ferrari under pressure now as well. Not carrying the speed around the penultimate corner was the Ferrari. This is now going to put the Aston right on their heels. The Mercedes have swapped positions. But well, anyway, so far has survived the attack from Patrick. He needs to do something to close the gap up to Nice Job.
Yep. Certainly an interesting race emerging here between, well, anyway, and Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick just tried another segment.
Yeah, that's one thing. Thing is, if they fight each other too much, obviously it will allow a Nice Job to breeze off into the distance. So they need to be mindful of that, but then maybe, you know, Nice Job will have this anyway under control by the end of it, either way. So, well, anyway, is looking quite quick at the moment, though, have to be said. And as you said, he's got a 100% win record this season with that win in Portimao. So, obviously, he is hunting down then another win here in China to keep his 100% win record every time he's attended a race this season in Tier 1. So this time Patrick gets a better exit onto the back straight. However, he is about 6/10 back still. So I think this will be way too far back to really have any sort of, well, real lasting attempt going into the hairpin. And we've got a safety car. Now, for strategy, I think that will see the medium runners jump into the pit lane.
Oh my! Alia has rear-ended himself onto Patrick. And Patrick's going to stay out on this medium compound?
Well, that is interesting tactics. Unless he's predicting a second safety car within the rest of the race, but I don't know. 2 safety cars in a race with 13 runners. What are the chances of that happening, to be fair? Especially after 8 laps where we've had pretty good racing, to be honest. Between everyone, pretty clean and all of that. So everyone, though, of the other medium runners are in. For some reason, Charlie Harris has got 7 lap pole tyres. Oh yes, because he stayed out, hasn't he, and started on the hards. So it makes sense for that. But yeah, everyone else is in. Ali's gone for another set of the mediums, unless, was he on the hards?
Ali, no.
So, yeah, that's an interesting strategy call. But Patrick obviously will be the next, will be the race leader once more. He started on pole, was the quickest qualifier, and took that pole position from obviously Ali, who is currently in 7th. That was your front row of the grid, but lost it at the start, plummeting down almost 5 positions in literally less than, probably, what is it, 100 meters to turn 1. So not the longest runs, it isn't, in China. But nonetheless, safety car is out, which is a neutralised race, so obviously all the cars will be bunched back together, and pretty much all the gaps that will have, well, evaporated and disappeared, of course, meaning that everyone will be back at square number 1 again in this race. So Takas leads from Patrick, from Charlie, who Charlie is now taking the opportunity to pit, so I think that may be why he didn't come in, allowed his teammate to box first, didn't want a double stack.
No, come on, Patrick is trying for a world championship. You're not thinking about your teammate. Absolutely not.
So...
Oh, Ali is back in the pit lane. Maybe he did mess up in the sky compound.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit weird, why he went on to the mediums again, because obviously you've got to run 2 different sets of tyres, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, that's only a interesting, well, not interesting, but it's just more like probably a mistake by him. However, for a nice job, surely will be a matter of time before he overtakes his Ferrari rival, who currently is leading the championship by 14 points. So I'm not really sure what a nice job would have to do to overtake. Well, probably has to finish 3rd, whilst probably Patrick would have to finish in 10th or something like that if he wants to retake the lead of the championship.
14 points, so you get, 26 for winning. So I think if Patrick finishes 5th and Nice Job wins, Nice Job will take the lead of the championship.
So there you go then.
25 for a win, 18 for 2nd, 3rd for 15, 4th is 12, 5th is 10, and 6th is 8, 7 is 6, 8 is 4, 9 is 2, 10 is 1.
So Patrick must finish then 5th plus a fastest lap if he wants to retain lead of the championship then today. Well, to be equal in points. 4th if he wants to retain the lead of the championship. So obviously safety car is coming into pit lane now, and it has reached pit lane, so meaning Patrick can lead us back to the green, and it'll be his prerogative of when to exactly go, and he's still holding
the pit straight, I believe.
By the looks of it, yep. And really delaying this one to the line.
He's really waiting, and he's gone now, and Nice Job has followed him all the way. This could be close into third 1 now. Nice Job. Oh, never mind. Patrick does have a straight line to scale over. The tyre advantage for Nice Job is going to provide a huge difference now, and that's already Patrick going a bit deep. Nice Job sees his opportunity into turn 3. Nice Job on the inside with the better grip. Retakes the lead in Shanghai. Patrick now under pressure from Well Anyway and his teammate Koskas on the inside of Well Anyway. Little bit of a bump pass, maybe, I would maybe say. Is a little bit too much contact for my eyes, but Koskas on the back of his teammate. Is this going to be 2 Ferraris around the outside of 7? No, it's not.
No.
Well Anyway, now into 5th.
So Ferrari fighting Ferrari. Well, we've seen that before. I do wonder. Obviously, seen it yesterday, but seeing it today, obviously a very different scenario playing out.
Oh,
But
Costas is going
Costas,
to go for it into the chicane, and that is a way to make your statement known. Patrick on the old tyre has thrown it away, in my opinion.
yeah, I agree. Unless there's a second safety car, but even then, really, the others have the advantage.
But it's going to be 3 wide into the second to last corner. Who's going to make it out on top? Alperdorn and Koskas do get ahead. That's a bit of contact onto Takacs. Alperdorn still side by side with Takacs. Koskas has got a mile and a half up the road. Patrick forces the McLaren off the road. But anyway, has been now overtaken by Perez as he has to back out of that little incident. Patrick around the outside of Apeldoorn does get the move done, but all of this fighting not only is hurting his tyres even more, he's falling away from the pack.
Yeah, indeed. He's already 3.5 seconds behind the race leader. And here comes Apeldoorn again. Is he going to get the move done now? Into turn 5 we go. And Takacs is going to make a little bit of contact. But
look at the difference.
Yep.
Apeldoorn is applying his battery in the middle of turn 7. That is some bravery if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, but then again, poor Apeldoorn,
Oh, there's a spinner. That is
could this be a safety car? Doubt it. But here comes, well, anyway, then on the back of the Ferrari now, DRS should be enabled, which might help out the Ferrari just a little bit here. However, right now, what's really hurting the Ferrari is those tyres.
So simple. No grip for Patrick at all. There's no grip.
So Patrick's really defending against, well, anyway, very hard.
The scale alongside the Ferrari, the grip for the Williams is going to be so much better. There we go, Patrick into 5th place. Now we've got Alia, who's going to be on his tail at some point, and Patrick's out of battery.
So this has really been a bad strategic call by the Ferrari driver then.
Absolutely it has been.
Absolutely screwed his race over. Unless, you know, he has, well, I don't really know what he can do to recoup this one. I don't think there is much he can do. Even if there was a safety car now, I think it still has really hindered his result then here today for the Ferrari driver, who started on pole and currently then, well, in 5th place, who would now lose the lead of the championship. Nice job then. But his teammate, Patrick's teammate, Kotos, is actually keeping up with nice job here. Currently is within a second. Obviously, there is a tyre deficit that nice job will have to the Ferrari, who's currently behind him, being on mediums comparison to the hards. So mediums should have a bit more purchase, given they're only 4 laps old. But
another move inevitable at this point is going to see Patrick under pressure from the Aston. There seems to be a collision at the back. Sorry, Hallis and Cavendish, but quickly just go back to this. Alia breezes past the championship leader and drops to 6th place, and he still has a pit stop to make. No grip on that tyre. After no grip.
He is royally screwed. Literally. And the longer he's out there, also, the worse his tyres will get and become, of course. So, yeah. And plus, he's still got a pit stop to make, so he's going to lose about 20 seconds to the rest of the cars. So, that's another deficit he'll have. So, he'll have to make up around 28 seconds right now to win this race, which pretty impossible. So lap 13 of the race, and we're, well, almost halfway through. Got another lap before we're halfway through it, of course, but we are approaching 50% race distance for everyone, and so far then nice job leading the way, and Kotos is now within a second of the race leader. Then, as Ali and Appledorm also closing up to one another. Currently, Appledorm, is being caught by Ali, the Aston Martin driver, who will have DRS, but that should aid him to get closer. Won't really help him get the move done, or at least not on this straight, but closes up under braking. Gets a good entry and a good exit, a little bit of a slide on the exit, but I think won't be close enough to make a move either down this straight. However, is certainly getting closer to the back of the McLaren driver, who currently sits in 4th position at the moment, and Ali currently chasing obviously the McLaren, but Appledorm's gone a bit wide, and this has allowed Ali up the inside, which will turn to be the outside corner for the next corner, but I think Appledorm has just held on to P4 for now, which obviously will be good news for him, but once again Appledorm really struggling to get the car slowed down and rotated, which obviously is hindering him all around the lap. Obviously made that move that you said was brilliant with the ERS pretty much open whilst going around. Then Patrick, who currently sits in 6th. So Ali closing onto the back of Appledorm as they head now once again into turn 13, and it should be pretty easy pickings for the Aston Martin driver then, and you can just see how close then Ali is to the back of the McLaren, and obviously got the DRS, got a bit more ERS, which will help him out and will get the move done into turn 14 on the brakes, and that is Ali into 4th position, and his next target will become Well Anyway, who currently sits on the podium positions. So can Appledorm fight back for what would be 4th position at the moment in this race? Nope. So he will remain in P5 then in this race.
Well, one thing I do want to point out is that Costas is right on the back of Nice Job here. I've followed this about the past 2 laps of Costas, and it's just the cornering speed is so much better. It's probably because of the medium tyre probably coming into its sort of prime life now, but unbelievable cornering speeds I'm watching at the minute.
Yeah, he was obviously keeping up with Nice Job, which I did say a few laps ago. Probably is because of the mediums, but he is doing well to hang on here to the back of Nice Job nonetheless. The only question I have over Costas, like obviously his teammate, is unlike his teammate, can he get those mediums to the end of this race? I mean, his teammate's done 15 laps on the mediums. He's obviously done 7, so half what his teammates managed to do. But yeah, I'm a bit curious if he'll be able to make this work, or whether, when those tyres will drop off, start to go away from him, which could be pretty soon, as Takas is now into the pit lane. And it'll be interesting to see what he goes for, and he is going for the hard tyre, so
yep.
Bit of a delay.
I would say I'm going to question the strategy, because what car he's driving for. I mean, not really sure what he was thinking.
Well, it's Ferrari. I mean, that's the only answer I can give you. Literally, he's...
He may have passed the pit lane maybe when the safety car came up. I don't think it did.
No. He had ample time to pit, because he was like, what you call it, he was behind what you call it, Nice Job who made the stop, ain't it?
Yeah.
So if Nice Job made the stop, then obviously Takas made the stop. I suppose, I don't know, it's a really odd question what Patrick has thought here in this race, why he's gone on to this strategy. However, he has gained a second within this lap. I'm not saying he's going to gain 34 seconds, but yeah, he's gained a second for whatever that will be worth come the end of it. Obviously, would have to get up to 4th in terms of to keep the championship position of P1. Yep. So that's a very big uphill climb for him from, well, would have to make up about a good 30 seconds to do that. So doesn't look likely. But yeah, I don't know. That's his mistake, I suppose. And I'm not sure what saying is. One man's rubbish is another man's gold or something.
I'm not sure.
It's something like that. I can't remember what the saying is. One man's, yeah. Basically, one man's loss is another man's gain. Effectively, so. That's the whole meaning of it, really. So, nonetheless, nice job. He's doing well to keep the Ferrari behind at bay. However, obviously, you'd have to suspect that Kostos tyres will start to begin to fade now, given they're 9 laps old. But yeah, I'm still intrigued how far he can take those tyres and whether he can land himself on a podium here for this race. He does have about a 5-second gap back to Ali, so that could be beneficial come the end of this race. So Iron Kid on the back of Neil at the minute as Kavolis picks up a 3-second penalty. Obviously, Iron Kid has also got a penalty. I think Iron Kid has also only got 3 seconds, if I'm correct. Let's have a look. Yep, 3 seconds. Kavolis has got 6, so he is pretty much out of this one. Plus, he's at the back of the grid. So his race isn't going that well, but nonetheless, this could be worse, I suppose.
Well, the gap for Patrick is coming down by about 6 tenths a lap to the soft runner ahead. Not really seeing anything too convincing to tell me that Patrick is going to do the comeback drives so far, but I'm staying on board. I'm watching his laps. I'll let you know if anything's happening.
Yep, I'm not convinced he's going to do the comeback drives of either. That would be quite the comeback drive of all time. I think you'd have to put him into a real Formula 1 car if he did that. Literally. That would be the reward for that if he literally 1.35 seconds behind. Still, nice job leading the way pretty convincingly, and he's starting to open up his gap once more. So pretty much our closest battle on the actual track is Iron Kid versus Neil at the moment, and Iron Kid is in P7. Obviously would have to shake off 3 seconds to Perez, who's behind him, and that's a pretty tough one. The other driver with a bit of a questionable strategy actually is Vin Porsche, I'd have to say, because I don't really understand why he's on softs. Like, they're not going to last, of course, so he's gonna drop out the points at least behind Tom, but I suppose he could, if he has another set of softs, go on to another set of new softs and try and get that position. But Porsche has made up a position, so I think Perez has dropped it somewhere along the lap, which has allowed Vin Porsche through. And this is allowing also Patrick to catch up as well. And we've got a safety car.
What?
We've got a safety car.
What for?
I have no idea what for. But we have got ourselves a safety car. Which is, well, we were saying not going to allow Patrick
Charlie Harris has no front wing.
So we've got a safety car for no front wing. You know what? I think they should red flag it. Make it even more interesting for no front wing. Surely the marshals could have used a virtual safety car, you know. And this time, Patrick is deciding to come into the pit lane.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right decision. Well, it definitely is.
Well, I think he should have stayed out. Literally.
Not on that fresh off gamble.
Nah, I'm only joking, obviously. He did the opposite in the first strategy, so why not? Still.
I dropped my controller.
That will help him get back into a more competitive position.
Though, however, so a lot of work still to be done, but he's reduced the gap of about 20 seconds.
Indeed. So, second safety car of the day. We've still got 13 runners. Obviously, the only retirement, of course, is Sir Waffler, who retired on lap 7 of this race, which saw pretty much everyone come in for hard tyres, which allowed, obviously, a few drivers to benefit from that, such as Appledorn and Kotus, the big two winners. Obviously, the biggest loser in all of that was in the first safety car, Patrick, who decided to stay out on his 8-lap-old mediums and decided to restart the Grand Prix, hoping for God knows what. But obviously, this safety car has allowed him to rescue maybe this race and maybe get back up the order into a decent finishing position. Interestingly, Kotus has gone for mediums on this Chinese circuit. That could be a decent strategy call, maybe. I'm not really too sure, actually. I don't think so. But he might have a bit of better tyre life at the end compared to some overall, so he is going to have to soak up a lot of pressure from Anyway and Ali, who are very quick drivers and will be eager to get past. But for a nice job, he will obviously restart the race then on the softs, and be his prerogative, obviously, when to restart it. So, what are your thoughts so far on this Chinese Grand Prix race?
I think it will get a lot more interesting if Patrick's at the front. I really do. I think he's blown this entire Grand Prix. I can see him getting to 6th place, but I don't see him getting past anyone else. I really don't.
Fair enough then. Not even his teammate?
Not on the opening few laps. It's just going to depend on how badly those soft tyres do wear up on the final 2-3 laps. Because those medium tyres will come alive about 4 or 5 laps in, depending on the soft, will sort of lose their grip. But I see no position where I see no shot losing this, apart from the spin.
Fair enough then. So should be back in the this lap, the safety car, as the McLaren of Cavaldis is now close enough, I would have to say. So should it be restarting any second now? Unless FIA decides to go around for another lap. Nope, safety car in, that's good. So, Protus leaving a bit of a gap to the back of a Nice Job. Also almost hitting the AlphaTauri driver, but manages to get it slowed down. So, will Nice Job go before the safety car line?
Was that a stop and go then?
A stop and go?
Well, go and stop. Nice Job seemed to apply the power, then just brake.
Not actually sure, to be fair.
Oh, there's a position change already. That's Einkid onto Neil. Gets your position around the outside. Wow.
Yeah, them two were fine. Obviously, quite a lot in this race. Them two have a Neil really slow for a few drivers at the back then there. So that's going to be problematic for Perez.
And there's contact onto Perez.
And
Neil
he's
closed
out
the door on the
almost.
Mercedes.
And Patrick is next to have a go at the Alfa Romeo driver. On then his fresh softs. This would be for 8th position. Can he go around the outside? Nope, but is looking like he has got the better speed overall and should be past then the Alfa Romeo pretty swiftly and soon. You'd have to suspect,
because he's going to pull away pretty good now.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, the front, at least 4 are going to pull away.
So he has to probably get the move done down this back straight. This is a do or die pretty move, you'd have to say, but here comes the Ferrari driver.
He's going to go for it. On the inside of turn, I believe, 14. Neil saw it coming, does not choose to fight it yet. Takacs into P8.
Yep, and he's got it, and nice job, obviously.
Well, anyway, he's in second place.
Yep, we've completely missed that. Obviously, he's, well, could be a threat actually to Nice Job, to be truth. He's currently within a second of the AlphaTauri, so what can he do? This is his opportunity to keep that 100% win record going then in ERL, of course. So this is a big moment for him. And he actually is looking pretty decent. He's gained about 4/10 on this lap alone. So he's gained a decent amount. And obviously I think DRS should be enabled. So this is the 3rd lap, I think, of racing. So this will help him out if it is. However, Nice Job looking a little bit decent through that turn 12 as we head through turn 13, and Charlie's picked up 3 seconds. Shouldn't mean much for the outcome of this race, so no DRS actually, my apologies, but Ali's going for a move on the Ferrari driver who's on the mediums, and he seems to be a little bit of a corkscrew in the bottle at the moment, or cork in the bottle, and then, well, he's kept on to 3rd so far, as DRS is now enabled, so that'll help out the drivers. So, right now, Ali putting then the Ferrari under a lot of pressure. Can, though, Kotus hold out for what would be a podium here at China in that Ferrari, in the special livery edition Ferrari, of course, with the yellow on the car. And Charlie Harris is out of the race in the pit lane though, so it won't be a safety car, that will be fine. So that will just see him DNF, not score points today, unfortunately for him, but will allow ERL Perez to make up a position into 12th then. So nonetheless, will cause a yellow flag though down that straight into turn 1. So that won't be a bit of an overtaking opportunity unless it's cleared sooner rather than later. But for Ali, he is right on the back of Kotus, and Nice Job is also under pressure then from Well Anyway. I don't think Well Anyway is going to get the move done, but Ali is going to get the move done into turn 14. That's a very easy pass with the DRS to aid him through, and that is Ali now on to the podium for Aston Martin. How is Takas doing at the back? Still in then 8th position and hasn't really made up any time on the other AlphaTauri driver of Vin Porsche. Vin Porsche going for a move.
Deep into turn 1 there. Nice job. It's super deep because allowed Will Anyway to coast right up to the back of him now.
Yep. Well, them two are going to be scrapping out then for this win. And you know what? I think Well Anyway is going to get this one.
Yeah, he's really close now. However, the battery is in favour of Nice Job.
Yeah. But I still think Well Anyway is going to get it. I think he'll win. I don't know. I just think he's looking the more comfortable of the two right now. Even though battery is in favour of Nice Job. However, yeah, he is looking more just comfortable in everything he's doing, the positioning of his car. So turn 12 and 13 going to be the critical 2 corners. Interesting, Ali hasn't pulled away from Kotas, who is on the medium, so maybe those mediums starting to come to good now. So, Well Anyway, we'll again have the DRS to close up to the back of the AlphaTauri, but doesn't get the move done. But Kotas goes for a send on the inside, gets the position. Ali's going to get the switch back then here, and Kotas then remains ahead and is ahead now once again of the Aston Martin driver. However, does go wide on the exit, which could see him get re-overtaken into turn 1 then, and Ali goes marching around the outside then at turn 1. And that got quite close between the two, Ali and Kotas, almost Kotas collecting the Aston Martin driver for good measure. Iron Kid and Patrick are now relatively close on the circuit. Then this would be for 7th position between them two. Obviously Iron Kid has a 3-second penalty, so either way, irrespective of whether Patrick gets the move done or not, then, well, Patrick would finish either way ahead of the Red Bull driver in 7th position. However, I'm sure he would want to get through and maybe have a chance of chasing down Vin Porsche for what would be 6th position in the race to get those extra points. Obviously, every point will count in a championship fight, and it is still relatively going to be close either way. Despite the result of this race, should only be, well, no more than a couple points in it. So, Nice Job still defending, then off, then, Well Anyway, as Kotas then goes for another send down the inside at turn 14 and gets back up into 3rd after being overtaken on the lap before. And again, Kotas going wide on the exit of 16, which personally, I'm not saying he's gaining any advantage from it, but he does need to be careful because he could pick up a 3-second penalty, and that wouldn't help him in his cause to take 3rd place in this race. He does have the pace to get 3rd, but just need to be careful of the track limits and doesn't want to get infringement. But, Well Anyway, is now within 3/10 of the back of Nice Job, and there is only 2 laps, well, 1.5 laps then to go. So I feel this is going to be now or never, and you can commentate on the last lap of this race if you want, or not. You there, Spray?
Yeah, just been following Will Anyway. I mean, I've not really seen any sort of evidence that he's going to get this move done. Even when he chooses to burn his battery, Nice Job has got 3 times the amount he does, so I don't see this move happening, I really don't. Alia closing up to the back of Costas, and that is P3 for the Aston Martin. Well Anyway, 2/10 back. I mean, I've been watching the pace, they're so even, it's unbelievable. I mean, Neustrom is starting to use his battery now, and he's got a lot more of it, so I think this will go for Neustrom now. As we enter the final lap, Koskas trying to put some pressure back onto Alia, but I think Alia seems to have that position all nice and covered. 5 tenths is a gap for well anyway, and Neustrom just completed 20% of his battery in one going. It hasn't really gained too much. That is good news for the Williams team and for well anyway, but still a lot more to be done. Trying to following in through these last few corners, only one more sector really. He's going to have a chance to close up to the back of the AlphaTauri and have a chance to move past on that back straight, but he needs to do something special. I hope for a mistake from Neustrom, because I do not see this move happening at all. I mean, well, anyway, brilliant drive from him today under a lot of pressure, and I had a bit of an incident on our opening lap and also on the safety car restart. But, well, anyway, has one more opportunity down our back straight, and it is almost an 8, 9, 10th gap. The battery levels are now even, but let's see, can we anyway get any closer to the back of Neustrom? They're both completing their battery rearing enabled for the Williams, but Neustrom is a country mile ahead. But anyway, too far back to make the move, so he has to sail for second place. Koskas repasses Alia for the final spot on the podium, but the race win is going to go to Neustrom. He's handled the pressure brilliantly. The winner in Shanghai is going to be Neustrom as he takes the championship lead. Well, anyway, gets that second spot on the podium, and Koskas does finish third, fourth Ferrari, Alia in fourth, Appledorn in fifth, Porsche in sixth, and Patrick has to settle for seventh place as strategy miscall loses him a probable podium.
Yeah, and just waiting then on Perez and Cavolis to finish off the race then, as we've got about 2 minutes and 30 seconds to do so. So obviously Perez will, well, come home in P11. Sadly, I don't think that's any points for him this evening, but it was a valiant or whatever effort, you know, it was a good effort nonetheless.
Yeah.
And it's for taking part that counts.
I mean, Neustrom had that all covered, coped with that pressure brilliantly.
Yep. He done a very good drive. Nice job did. And he started, what, P3 or P4, I think it was?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a really good drive from him to get up the order. I think, personally, have to say, probably one of the drivers of the day. Overall, probably, if not the driver of the day, from where he started, and that's a podium and a win for Neustrom then, once more. But Ferrari did end up on the podium, but not the Ferrari we all expected then.
The wrong Ferrari.
Yeah, unfortunately. So, race result then. So, Neustrom takes the victory in Shanghai, China. Then followed by, well, anyway, followed by Kotas in the Ferrari. Then Ali is in fourth for Aston Martin. Fifth is Appledorn, and then sixth in Porsche. Takas Patrick is in seventh. Then Neil, eighth. Iron Kid in ninth. Tom rounds out the top 10 in 10th. Then ERL Perez in 11th, and Cavolis is in 12th. He is the last finisher of the day, and then the non-finishers, we have Charlie Harris and Sir Waffler. So, who's your driver of the day? Neustrom?
Yep, absolutely.
There we go then. So, thank you for watching ERL. Until the next race, see you all then. Have a good evening, keep safe, and subscribe to the channel. See you all next time.
Bye.